According to New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman, who of course has been dubbed the Trump Whisperer due to her ability to get Donald Trump and of course those around him to open up and be honest about what's actually happening behind the scenes. But Haberman says that she has spoken to people close to Donald Trump, and Trump himself says that he's not backing down off of the Matt Gaetz nomination for Gaetz to, of course, become the next Attorney General of the United States, even though we are witnessing day by day more and more damning information about Gaetz coming out. But that's just what Trump says publicly. According to Haberman, behind the scenes, Trump has something much different to say. In discussions with people that he thinks Gaetz' chances of getting confirmed are, the odds are less than 50% or less than even. So even Trump himself, according to Haberman, the Trump Whisperer, doesn't think that Matt Gaetz is going to make it through confirmation. But she said Donald Trump is not one to just sit idly by and let his nominee go down in flames. So what Trump is now doing is calling up senators, Republican senators, and essentially begging them, please give me Matt Gaetz. I need Matt Gaetz. So he is basically groveling to these Republicans who just a few days ago were groveling to him, but now the tables have already turned. And that's pretty remarkable. The problem, of course, is that Donald Trump can be very effective because he is a bully. And he does have a good way of manipulating people. I think that is obviously his strongest suit, is being able to manipulate people to go against their better judgment. So this is actually not a good thing. This is in fact very bad. Because if Donald Trump is able to convince these Republicans who are currently on the fence about Gaetz that, hey, it's fine, let him go, suddenly we got a very real problem on our hands. Now, reports had suggested, of course, that as many as 30 Republican senators were prepared to vote against the Gaetz nomination. Now, that was according to reports that came out over this past weekend. Maybe 30 might vote against him, which of course would kill the nomination. However, we don't have to worry about 30. We don't need 30 people to vote against Matt Gaetz. We need 4. Okay, that's it. That's all it takes. Assuming, of course, every single Democrat also votes against him. But that's all the Republicans you have to flip. 4. And it's done. He's gone. He already resigned. We don't have to worry about him just going back to his seat in Congress. He's over. He could run again, sure. But for now, it would be over. So Trump is making his phone calls. And what I think needs to happen is that Democrats need to make phone calls of their own. I'm not saying you, average citizen, needs to go call your senator and tell them to vote against this. No, they don't care what you have to say. I hate to say that, but let's be brutally honest here. They don't care about us. What we need is for Democratic leaders in the Senate to call these moderate Republicans and join forces with them. And it may mean some unpleasant compromises, but those unpleasant compromises may save us from a greater evil. And that's what we have to avoid right now, the greater evil. It doesn't sound fun to say it. It probably doesn't sound fun to hear it, I imagine. But that is the situation we're in. Democrats, start talking to your Republican colleagues. Work out whatever deal you need to work out to make sure that Gaetz does not become Attorney General.
One of today's video sponsors is Miracle Made. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can actually harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? It can lead to acne, allergies, stuffy noses, and it's just plain gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, and their sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and they feel as nice, if not nicer, than bed sheets used by some 5-star hotels. And it's designed for your skin. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne, and you can sleep clean with Miracle. Now, I've been using Miracle Made bed sheets for nearly 2 years now, and I absolutely love them. They help keep me cool throughout the night, which means I get better sleep because I'm not waking up all throughout the night from being too hot. So go to trymiracle.com/ROF to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code ROF at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/ROF and use the code ROF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/ROF to treat yourself.